Okay, guys. So today we will work on lab number 2 of Internet Security course, and we have two parts in the lab. First is the DVWA, which stands for Damn Vulnerable Web Application. And that application, why we are using this application, there are plenty of other applications like that, like Buggy Web, Google Grower. There are many applications like that. So the specific reason why we are using DVWA, the main reason is that uh, if you want to practice your ethical hacking skills or different attacks, so we cannot target the real world examples or real world websites. So that is why we are going to use DVWA. We will host this website or this web application on our personal computer, like on Kali Linux, and then we will try to launch attack on this web application through using different tools like Burp Suite and all that. In order to run this application, we need an Apache server and we need a SQL database server as well. So you can use the pre-built-in Apache server of your Kali Linux and the SQL service of your Kali Linux as well. But just to make it more organized, we are going to use XAMPP. Okay. Again, some of you guys might heard of XAMPP if you already took the database course. But I'll show you guys. Firstly, we need to download a platform through which we can run or we can easily manage over Apache server and databases and PHP. I mean, all that stuff, in fact. And then after having these particular platforms, then we will configure and install DVWA on our local host. The part 2 is basically after we will have a DVWA, then we will practice the brute force attack, the password guessing attack, crawling of a website, like how people they collect information from website, like vulnerabilities, how they inject the malware, stuff like that. So starting with the first thing, which is please install XAMPP. Let's install the XAMPP. Everybody should get to the Kali Linux. And firstly, we need XAMPP, so open your browser. Okay, so we have to Google it, XAMPP. Okay, it's the okay. Welcome to XAMPP. Let's see. Okay, just XAMPP download. So XAMPP download. Just Google it, XAMPP download, and if you slightly scroll down, the first website, apacheserver.org. Just open this up. Okay, so now if you see XAMPP is for Windows, we need it for Linux. Great. So we could actually use the we can use any, like let's use this one, 7.4.15. I mean, you can use the latest one. Let's use the latest one. Okay, let's use this one. So just click download and just hit save file. So now it has started downloading. Great, so it's got downloaded. Let me show you where it is. If you hit the places, go to downloads, this is basically the installation file. So the thing is, we cannot run this file directly. The first thing is because of the permission thing. Remember the smart kind of things. So the first thing is we need to adjust the permissions. Right click, properties, and then the permission tab. Root owner has read and write. So, and the group has read and write. Okay, so we need to actually allow executing the program as well. So we can execute this file as well beside read and write. Let me close this now. And now you have to double click this file after making adjustment. Okay, so you should see this thing now. We'll do the by default things, just hit next. So core files and developer files, we're gonna actually have these both of these files. Next, next, and next. I'm gonna go back here. Okay, next, and now it started installing XAMPP on our local computer. Okay, so let's give it some time. So basically, XAMPP is a platform through which we can have Apache server, FTP server, database server, SQL server, and all that. So we can actually manage these services on a local computer. It's kind of, you are going to have a platform through which you can host a website, web application, and all that. So they are unpacking the stuff. Okay, so let me see what's going on. Let me minimize this one. So there, if you see right now, they are also putting an uninstaller as well. In any case, if you want to uninstall XAMPP, so they are also putting that file. Okay, now launch XAMPP. We are not going to launch it right now, but I'm going to show you where XAMPP is. If you need to hit finish, please. Just close it, please. Okay, so this is, by the way, XAMPP. This is the XAMPP, manager through which you can manage your services. Right now, Apache is running. Let me stop that. Okay, once it will get stopped, you can see this is FTP. You can run FTP service, database service, and Apache to run the web application. Let me show you guys. Let me close this one, and let me show you guys what it has done. So if you go to places, go to my computer, and under OPT, LAMP. So these are the different files which it has done. Like this is your database, SQL. That's basically, if you double click that, so you can actually have this GUI of or a dashboard to run your Apache services, SQL service, and all other stuff. Okay, let me close that. Okay, so now we have Apache Server Manager in our computer to manage our the servers, and we have a database manager as well, all together with XAMPP. So the next thing is we are going to have a download over DVWA. So open your browser again and just type here DVWA. Damn Vulnerable Web Application. We can download directly from their website, or we can directly download from, let's see, DVWA download. Let me Google it. Okay, the first link is DVWA, Damn Vulnerable Web Application, the direct website, or you can download it from GitHub as well, like Git clone and all that kind of thing. You can do that as well. Let me download directly from their website. This is the DVWA website. If I slightly scroll down, go to download and save the file, just hit OK. The file has started downloading, and I think it's already we are done. So let me close this browser, and now we need to go to downloads again. Open the downloads. Okay, now if you see, this is the DVWA file, which is right now a zip file. So what we need to do is we have to actually extract the file. So what we are going to do is we are going to extract the folder. Let me double click this. You can do one thing here. Let's right click here, and you can do one thing here, extract here. If you just click extract here, you will see it will extract your DVWA folder out of this zip file. That's basically the web application. I'm gonna rename it. Let's say DVWA. Just rename it. Let me use DVWA, Damn Vulnerable Web Application. Now I'm gonna right click this, copy this folder, and let me just close this. So I have extracted the folder, and now I'm going to go back to my computer again and go to OPT, LAMP, and then we will go to HD docs folder, open HD docs. And if you see, there are plenty of things in my HD docs, and I will right click here and paste. So now this is basically my DB web application main directory, root directory, where I have this application now, but still we need to configure this application. This configuration is not completed yet. Okay. Once you guys will install the XAMPP, you will see all these files. Okay. Double click this DVWA folder. Now if you see, there is another folder called config folder. Double click this. Under config folder, you should see this file config.inc.dist. So what we need to do is we just have to actually right click. You can actually copy the file, or you can actually just rename this particular file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this file and just remove this dist thing, distribution. So it's going to be PHP file now. So you should have config.inc.php file. Okay, it's just a text editor. If I open it up, you can see this is the PHP file. Okay, so double click and open this file now. And here you should see this is a PHP script, and we have to look for DB password, the database password. So the password is password. I am actually going to remove the password, so you should not ask the password. Okay, so just remove this one, and you can also change the database port as well. You can do whatever you want to do. Then I'm going to make DB user is my root user. So I'm going to make it root, R-O-O-T, root. And let me just give a database, because you can actually keep DVWA as a database. Since I have already created multiple databases, so I'm going to actually make it like 98, for example. I just put a random number, DVWA random number. So what I did is I removed the password, changed the user to root, and database, I just changed the name of database to DVWA98. You can actually keep the same name as well. Since I already had DVWA, that's why I actually changed it. Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't make any difference, in fact. Now we need to save this and close it. Now this is configuration file. We just made a small change here, and we are almost set. So please go back here, open this manager Linux. Again, let me show you again if you miss it. So go back here to computer, and it's under optional folder, XAMPP, manager, run it, manage servers, and let's run both of the servers. Apache server, let me start this. SQL server, let me start my SQL server as well. It's going to take a few seconds to start running your Apache server and start running your SQL database server. Okay, now if you see both of these services are running now, let me close this one. Let's keep it open. Okay, let me just minimize it. Okay, so now go to your browser, and let me open my localhost. You can type localhost, and the name of the application, DVWA. Once you do that, you should see here, it is basically the setup. It says website, localhost, everything seems fine. Just hit here, create, unable to connect to database. Let's hit create or reset database. Once you create that, database has been created, and it will redirect you to right here. So basically, once you redirect to right here, what happens actually here, now database is created, everything is, you're all set. By default, the password is admin, and the password is password. So admin is the username, password is password. Once you hit login, we are all set. We have the DVWA running on our local host. Like, this is a web application. If I just type here, for example, let's say 127.0.0, and let's say DVWA, you can see this is my local host now. Okay, let me close that. So that's basically the way how we can actually host or run or configure a DVWA. That's what you need to take a screenshot of. If you scroll down here, these are the things: brute force, command injection. We're going to practice all these things. And if you see here, one more thing, that is DVWA security level, depending upon how good you are. So we can have impossible, like very hard. We can make it low, depending upon how I mean, what kind of practice you want to do. If you are a pro, then we will use impossible or high security, and then try our hacking skill, try different scripts and all that. Okay. So we will be using this particular web application, and we will explore almost all of these things: Java scripting, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, um, inclusion, upload. This is basically and everything. We will try everything. But again, in the next part, we're gonna actually see how we can do the brute force attack using Burp Suite. So if anybody will have any questions, please do let me know. So let's see the part 2. Okay, I'll record another video for part 2 and try to map it up.